What a lovely family heirloom.
What a lovely family heirloom.
The fires of love.
22-minute podcast. 22-minute podcast. Don't want to take up much of your time. Just gonna read some headlines. Stuff.
Welcome to the 22-minute podcast. My name is Wes Severtson. I'm here down getting third-degree burns in the fire of love with Mike Finley.
Feels good to be here, Wes. Feels
Join
good.
us. Join us.
Happy Friday, y'all. It's the end of the week.
Happy Friday. For sure. That's good. I do want to clear up. Obviously, Christmas has passed, so we didn't play that clip
Sure.
for the holiday. But that was Josh Ryan Evans' last role. He was in How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Ron Howard directed,
That's right.
Jim Carrey helmed. No, wait, director is the helm, I think. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
That one. He played a young Grinch.
That's right.
Childhood Grinch. But yeah, he unfortunately did suffer from. He had some physical ailments, some medical issues, and
Dwarfism,
he's
he died
passed away.
of congenital heart failure.
Oh,
well, he
man.
died of corrective surgery for.
Oh,
the
dang.
So he died in the middle of surgery. But funny, that's one of the first DVDs I ever purchased. It's for
Okay.
my birthday.
You know what? It was probably one of those where, whenever you see like a VHS collection, you're not surprised when you see the double Titanic.
Oh, sure.
You're like,
Yeah.
everyone had that.
Yeah.
I think The Grinch was probably a very
Yeah.
Highly-
100%.
produced, manufacturer, whatever. They made a lot of those DVDs. But yes, Josh Ryan Evans, will live forever in certainly in The Grinch. Also doing stunts in Baby Geniuses.
That's right.
Or Baby Genius.
That's
Baby Genius.
Baby
Or
Genius.
Baby Geniuses. There's multiple.
Baby Genius. I don't know.
Well,
there's,
multiple.
There's
in the
more than
movie,
one, yeah.
so.
I mean, Christopher Lloyd was definitely
Splitting
out more than one. Putting on the Ritz.
Putting on the Ritz, and there's some like CGI baby in a suit.
That's what I remember most about
Yes.
Baby Genius.
I remember I saw it with my dad, and sorry, Dad. Sorry about that. Because I was young enough to where I was like, this is fucking great.
This is
what? I don't remember what year it came out, but
late 90s. It had to have been.
well, then I was no older than 9.
Yeah.
But
Or could no. With that CGI? Oh, it could have been early 2000s.
it's a good question. I don't know. All right. Let's see.
I got to look it up now. I'm sorry.
Okay, give it a look up. On this day in 1949, the popular TV show. I don't know if you knew. I don't know if y'all know it was
99.
popular. 99. So I was 9. For the babies putting on the Ritz.
Mm-hmm.
In 1949, The Lone Ranger
Yeah.
premiered. Did you ever see the remake or whatever?
I
the movie?
did with
Yeah.
Armie Hammer
Uh-huh.
and the Jonathan Depp.
Yeah, Jonathan
Yep.
Depp. John Depp. Yeah, they got a lot of shit. I thought it was
It
fine.
did. I thought it was fine. I agree.
I don't know what
I thought it
happened
was
there.
fine. Yeah.
That seems like a situation that sometimes happens where the media got to it first and just ruined any potential interest that should rightfully
that
have
was the thing.
been
I
there.
remember watching it years after the movie came out. It's like I don't understand why this got shit on so much.
Because what, it was the Pirates of the Caribbean director or something?
It could have been. Who was that guy?
I don't know. But I think that's
Jerry Bruckheimer?
I don't know.
Or at least he produced the Pirates.
Sure,
maybe.
right,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You'd have to ask. Who would really know all about the Pirates of the Caribbean movies is Wicked Theater Girls. They also were really.
I was going to
into
say a
Pirates
name
of the
that
Caribbean.
definitely fits into that category.
Let's not say names.
I
Let's
didn't,
not
and I'm
do it.
glad I didn't.
Yeah, good job. Let's see.
On this day in 2000, the popular online marketplace AOL announced that it'd be
no.
acquiring Time Warner for $164 billion.
How'd that work out?
Well, creating the largest merger in history at the time. However, the merger would later turn out to be a disastrous failure, resulting in a 2002 split.
Yeah, but they sure sold us a lot of those minutes, discs,
Yeah.
discs for
Yeah.
AOL.
Well, I remember every now and then, my dad would just go pick up a new disc from
Right,
the grocery
from Walmart.
store, and then okay.
They were in a bin.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, now I don't have to pay for this for another 2 months
it's-
or whatever.
Right. It's very much the like, say, okay, so like a lot of stuff is happening in like local broadcasting, like as far as like streaming rights,
Sure.
right? Where advertising controls so much of sports is like the main example. But any sort of live television, whatever. And streamers are trying to pick that stuff up because it's still, even if 90 million people aren't watching Sunday Night Football the way that they did in the 60s or something
Sure.
like that, it's still a good like 10, 15, 20 sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, so they still get a lot of views. Same thing, American, whatever, just live, the Oscars, whatever. But the problem is it's all about advertisers, so then it's a new relationship with streaming, advertising. And so it just creates these pockets where like it's been years where like it's so difficult to watch certain local sports teams in certain markets because of just broadcast and streaming rights, and there not being infrastructure for it. And so right now, like the Stars have a free streaming service that they created just this year. So you can, we can't, and this is the other fucking problem,
Yeah.
is we can't access that service through the app because it's, again, the rights are localized. So it's still about advertising. It's still about local advertisers. So you have to be in, like, our area blocks us from being able to access that.
Sure.
But more just saying it's free. Because they just are like, please watch our, please engage with our content.
Yeah.
And then buy a shirt or come to a game.
Sure.
Like, that's the idea. So that's what AOL was doing. And then I guess they spent too much money on trying to buy Time Warner or something. But yeah, you just want people interacting with your...
You've got mail.
Yeah. You want people interacting with whatever you're selling, and then you want to surround it with other, like...
Can you only access that if you're in Texas, I guess?
I think that's right.
Yeah.
It
What
might.
a shame.
It might. No, it really is. I'm telling you, because I only get to watch like maybe one every 2 weeks or something.
Yeah.
Just because of it's a localized market. Like I can't access it via YouTube TV because it's like, you're in Colorado, asshole. So. Yeah.
I wish that popped up on the screen.
Yeah. You know what you're doing,
Asshole.
and I can't use. I've tried. I have used for certain. Like playoff games and stuff, like just illegal sites with a VPN.
Yeah.
I haven't done it in years at this point because the things that will go into that chat
Oh, sure.
will traumatize
Which
you
is
for the.
crazy.
I
We're watching a playoff hockey game.
I can't be on the internet anymore, man. I just can't do it. I hate it. Seriously, I don't know. It's like we're becoming so unregulated and like there's just so many gaps that everything's
Wild.
falling into.
Absolutely fucking
Like
wild.
I got off of Twitter for similar reasons. Like just like because I wasn't actually on Twitter.
Sure,
It's like a lurker account or whatever.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I was using it for pornography.
Sure.
But then all of a sudden, things that people attach to a hashtag.
Yeah.
And it's a name of like whatever. This is gross.
Yeah.
No one wants to hear about it.
No.
But it's a name of like a porn star or something like that. So like I should just be seeing images or whatever associated content of this porn star, and then I'm seeing things that I just did not ask for.
My God.
Because these predatorial people know that. Like, people are clicking on this hashtag is trending, and because of Elon Musk, I suppose, there's all the regulation for that kind of thing is completely dissolved. So yeah, like even my dumb lurker account I deleted months ago because I just can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
I
No,
want porn.
thank
Okay, I want
you.
pornography.
Sure.
Like, regulate it. Anyway, sorry. Again, no one wants to hear about that shit. But I am very worried with obviously instantaneous. I remember when I was like 16 getting a random text message from a number on my cell phone, because that's like when I got a cell phone, when I got a car, and it was just from like a random number, and who knows if they were who they said they were, but even if they were and it wasn't as nefarious as like a catfish thing, and it was like a 15-year-old, 14-year-old girl, it's just like, this is not safe.
Yeah. No shit.
And I was 16 and I was like, I'm not comfortable with this,
I drive a Nissan Frontier.
I
Please do
enjoy
not.
it. Yeah. I'm listening to Bright Eyes.
I only scroll. I only tune the volume in intervals of 5.
Which is what was that?
I don't know, but I did that.
After the numbers aren't an option on the volume anymore, and it's just kind of generic. Which like I think in my car now there are numbers, but I think like at some point I got in a car where there weren't numbers associated with the volume, so it just kind of went away.
Yeah.
I didn't care. But yeah, I don't know. That was who knows.
Right. I do very specifically like remember whatever like those displays were like on your aftermarket CD player.
Well, my dad bought that.
Yeah.
you know?
No. Yeah.
That was the time when you had to have that. You had to like that was like the cool thing. Now cars just come with such quality speakers that it's just kind of ridiculous to, unless you're really going for something very very specific.
Sure.
There's no reason to mess with their sound system most of the time. But yeah, like the 90s 2000s was it? Well, this was definitely the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was 2000. But yeah, it was the year 2000. That was still a big time of the detachable.
Yep.
Face.
Well, you can take
or
it with you, so
whatever.
nobody can take it out of your fucking car. Like, why would they want to if they didn't have the faceplate?
It was really more of just a petty thing, I think, that happened back in the day when people still left their windows down whenever they went inside.
Oh, sure.
Because
Sure.
it's the same thing with like, I mean, people lock their doors more. People, it's all that shit.
Yep.
And there was a point where like, who cares if your car's locked? Who's fucking with it?
Well, just so everybody knows, my 2003 Jeep Wrangler's never been locked, and it's not locked right now.
Right. So.
But that's also the reason why I never bought like an aftermarket radio for it. It's because
Because it could happen.
No, for sure.
The one day that you were like, I'm just going in here for a second.
Yeah.
And then you remember that you live in Denver.
Mm-hmm.
Well, really any major city.
Sure. No, it's true. Living anywhere.
It's insane, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. That's why we do need social programs, because it's like, listen, look around. Can we do something? I mean, we got to do something.
No, for sure.
And I'm sure they want to do something too. So, I don't know. Maybe not all of them. But
Just the cost.
well, the cost is fake advertising dollars. It's not real. I mean, look at all the money we give to other countries. We can come up with fake money.
No, it's true.
If we want to come up
Well,
with
speaking
fake
of fake money, on this day in 2001, the first public demonstration of the Segway, a two-wheeled, self-balancing personal transporter, was
I just remember.
unveiled.
I remember seeing funny videos of like Wozniak, like the other Apple guy,
the other Apple guy, yeah,
and
yeah.
like his wife apparently are big about like rocking those Segways together, and like there's a lot of
they
pictures.
were
of
investors.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, good question. But no, apparently there's just I've seen videos, and because they'll just roll around Southern California together like they're not billionaires.
SoCal on our Segways, dude.
That's why that is one thing about Southern California that was like equally annoying while also kind of nice, where it was like, yeah, that's like a billionaire over there, but don't look at him.
Just don't pay attention.
Yeah, it's like, well, I don't want him there. I never saw a billionaire. At least I don't think I saw a billionaire.
No, for sure. Speaking of billionaires, on this day in 1901, the Spindletop oil field was discovered in Beaumont, Texas. The subsequent oil boom transformed the U.S. economy and made Texas a major player in the oil industry, leading the establishment of companies like Texaco and Gulf Oil.
I believe this is also associated. I mean, in some way, this has to be associated with the Hunt family, who own the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
Who used to be the Dallas Texans, I think.
Really?
Yes. So before the NFL or something like that.
Oh, sure.
So that's the thing is like, in a lot of ways, there's apparently a really good book. I don't remember the name of the author or like the exact name of the book, but it's like a very in-depth story about the Texas like oil boom and like the Hunt family and that kind of thing. But yeah, eventually all that money led to
the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah. And the Hunt family apparently still lives in Dallas. Like they mainly live in Dallas. Yeah. Well, because they have a relationship with like I don't remember. It's apparently they're pretty influential in Dallas, and I just didn't know that until I learned.
Really?
Yeah. Until I learned about the.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. You know what else? Here, how much time we got? I'm gonna take the time. I don't care. It's 14 minutes.
We're at the 14-minute mark.
Right. Yes.
We got
exactly.
8 minutes or so.
Yes. There's a book called The Accommodation.
Okay.
It's a nonfiction book. You know the movie Bully?
I've heard of the movie Bully. Yeah.
Brad Renfro. You know.
That sounds about right.
Whatever. It's a pretty intense movie. 2000s. One that I probably saw on IMDb or whatever. Or I'm sorry, IFC.
Yeah.
So he wrote the book that's based on. So that would kind of be the most like notable, I guess, like thing from this guy. I can't remember his name right now. I'm trying to pull it up. It's like Jim I'm trying to pull it up, but it's called The Accommodation,
Okay.
and it's a very odd. It's kind of a controversial book because it's a Dallas focused book,
Okay.
and it's basically like about the hidden like racial strife in Dallas that is not widely known or spread about some pretty organized, publicly represented, essentially like domestic terrorist attacks on the black community.
No way.
In Dallas. Yeah, I haven't read it yet. I need to order it.
Jesus Christ.
I think you can get it on Kindle and shit.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's by. I need to pull it up. I can't remember where I have it saved, so I'm kind of failing on like having good information. But it's just it's like I don't know. Like we obviously like the Tulsa bombings bombings or whatever.
Yeah.
Was it bombings? What was it? I don't remember. See now
The fires,
the
I
riots,
think. Yeah,
the
yeah.
white riots and all that shit, and they burned that fucker down. Like that's something that wasn't widely known until very very recently. I mean,
Yeah.
relatively very very recently. And I mean, it's the same thing with the information in the accommodation. I don't remember where I was looking at it the other day, like Goodreads or something. I need to order it. I can't remember where I have it saved. I'm so sorry. But the accommodation, Jim something, Dallas race relations, in the like 60s, 70s, something like that.
Jesus Christ.
But there were reviews that were stating like Dallas elite took this book off the shelves.
No way.
And yeah, and there were a couple saying that where like here's the thing is the ticket is where I learned about it, and the ticket is the reason that it went back into publication.
No way.
Yeah. So because they had him on, but like really they had him on for another book he had, but like we're like, hey, we got a copy because you were able to access it from like the public library, like the Dallas Public Library.
Yeah.
Until it was put back into publication in 2021. And so they had got like basically like a PDF copy of the book and read it.
No fucking way.
And they're like a huge reason. And there's like this independent book company, publisher, and it's called like Deep Vellum. It's down in Deep Ellum.
Okay, yeah.
In Dallas.
Funny enough.
Yeah. Who would have thought? So yeah, they started publishing it, but then like it got picked back up by a major publisher as well. So yeah, I don't know. It's just an interesting story where it's like, I don't know. There's a lot of Texas pride or whatever. There's a lot of Southern pride. There's a lot of American pride, and it's just the things that we don't even know.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist about history or anything like that, but when you do get into that, it generally does seem to be way more on the side of covering up things that the people who are currently or were. I don't know that white people necessarily have as much systematically. Sure, I don't want to argue against that, but when they were even more tightly in control 60 years ago, they just easily were like, hey, we're just not going to put this in publication anymore, and this isn't going to be a part of our history. And yeah, so just remember stuff like that. Anyway, thought I'd take the opportunity.
Well, thank you. Jesus fucking Christ. God damn.
Yeah, the accommodation. I probably said it enough, but yeah, I don't know. You were talking about some local Texas stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
know?
well, just, being in Texas, the oil field that was discovered.
Yep.
Yikes.
And there is a book about it. I don't know enough about that. But I want to read that. It sounds interesting more than like
No, sure.
No revelations from that book.
Yeah.
Just interesting stuff. It's interesting backstory. I think Taylor Sheridan or something like has made a show or wants to make a show that's related
About that, yeah.
something like that. I probably would hate it.
Yeah.
His show version of it. 'Cause I've said before I've only enjoyed like 2 things he's done.
Well, speaking of hate, on this day in 2016, David Bowie dies from
Hate
liver
that.
cancer.
Liver cancer, man. Yeah, that's a tough one. God damn it! Like, was he a big? Was it a result of drinking?
I don't know, honestly, but I know that like
They have been talking recently about putting cancer warnings like
on alcohol.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
I mean, that wouldn't surprise me for sure.
I'm glad I quit, man. I mean, I'm glad I quit for a lot of reasons, but that's gonna make me feel a little bit better about going and getting a physical here.
Sure,
in
sure,
Hopefully, like a week or something.
Yeah.
Is whatever they say is wrong with me. At least I can be like, hey, but I don't drink,
Yeah.
right? Am I dying?
What's wrong? Which is wild though. Like 2 days ago, like he was born and then like released his final album,
Right.
Black Star.
Yeah, that's wow. What a weird
But I mean, like the whole like
chunk of days.
symbolism behind like Black Star is just like, death and accepting, and just weird timing, David. Thank you.
Yeah, death's got to be a lot harder to accept when you're rich.
Sure. No, 100%.
For
like you have like 40 years of fucking notoriety,
Well, and relatively young as well,
Yeah.
especially for being rich. I mean, same thing with like Sam Shepard. I remember saying to my
Oh,
my
yeah.
dad whenever Sam Shepard died, like, because he was like, "Oh, he made it to 73," and I was like, "Man, for a rich guy, that's young.
Yeah.
Like, you're supposed to have access to like what's wrong with me at 73. Let's get rid of that.
Right.
Let the next thing in 10
Right.
years take me, or something." But
Yeah. Give me at least another 15.
yeah. Which it's so funny because my dad was he's a morbid guy, I suppose, and so whenever he had a triple bypass surgery,
Yeah.
and I'll probably have to because of genetics, and I'm anyway, he was like, whatever, I've lived long enough, like what, just so
Come
more.
on, Dad.
But then the moment he has, the moment that like he's recovered from the triple bypass and feels like 1,000 times better than he did before the bypass, all of a sudden he's got his fire back. You know what I mean? Like, it's
I wish we had the iPhones in the corner so they could see.
but it's the truth, man. It's just like, people are so silly. Like, I'm not saying I don't do shit like that.
No, 100%.
Dude, when I'm sick, I'm such a bitch.
Yeah, but like coming back from, all right, what are we doing now? What's
Yeah.
up?
All of a sudden, you forget what it's like to feel well.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you feel well again, and you're like, "Fuck yeah, I'm ready to go." Yeah, I need to get some exercise. Anyway, all right, we got like 15 seconds. Turning 51, Jermaine Clement,
Yeah.
one of the two
Flight of the
Concords,
Concords.
and then in Gentleman Broncos,
Mhm.
bunch of MIB3.
He was one of the bad
Or
guys
4?
in Moana.